Before we get to the second-generation Mercedes-Benz GLC 300 Coupe, let's discuss this vehicle segment. It's been 15 years since BMW launched the X6 at its South Carolina factory. The X6 was the first product of an almost totally German fascination with SUV, coupes, with the ill-fated though soon-to-be reborn Acura ZDX as the only other example of the breed I can think of. The idea is that by adding a swoopy rear end, the sport part of the SUV moniker is emphasized. The nuts and bolts of these vehicles, from a manufacturer's point of view, is that by slicing off a little bit of sheet metal and a couple cubic feet of luggage space, it can charge customers more money for a more stylish, sportier-looking though largely already R&D product. Last I heard, profit margins on vehicles like the X6 and the GLC Coupe are something like 20% greater compared to normal SUVs. That's generally a good thing, as that way you can recover a bit of the luggage space you gave up by buying the coupe variant in the first place. Most of the growth is in the length, where the GLC Coupe is now 1.2 inches longer than the first-generation vehicles. Height increased by half an inch, yet width remains the same. It's worth noting the front and rear tracks have swelled by 0.2 and 0.9 inch, respectively, and the latter growth should help with handling. According to Mercedes, the drag coefficient improved from 0.30 to 0.27 candelas, which is hard to believe as that's literally the same as the new Toyota Prius. Sadly, without our own wind tunnel or supercomputer toting on-staff computational fluid dynamicist, we'll just cock an eyebrow. That said, the coupe silhouette looks more aerodynamic than that of the normal GLC. The biggest visual difference between old and new is seen up front. The revised face is best described as cleaned up. It still looks like a GLC family member, but the Botox has worked wonders. Gone is the thick, regular Mercedes grille in favor of a version of the now familiar AMG